up, YouTube? I am back with another video, man. I am in Kingman, Arizona. Headed to Las Vegas, but I wanted to make a quick video about Phoenix. So I've lived in Phoenix now for about 11 months, and I wanted to make a video to give those who are moving to the city kind of like a heads up or what to anticipate upon moving here. Given that I'm from Ohio, there's a few things that are completely different, not completely different, but definitely different, that has stuck out to me being from the Midwest, East Coast of the United States, and now living on the West Coast, Southwest part of the country. So first is Arizona in general. My whole life, I grew up thinking that Arizona was a desert. Little did I know, that's not completely true. So we have something here called the high country. Now, I know people have heard of Flagstaff, but I didn't really understand not necessarily the importance of it, but what makes it unique to Arizona. Flagstaff is part of the Colorado Plateau. Now, if you don't know what a plateau is, basically it's a dramatic shift in elevation on the land. So Phoenix is about 1,000 feet above sea level. Well, Flagstaff is about 7,000 feet above sea level. So with Flagstaff being so high in elevation, it gets pretty cold up there. Like, it snows. So like in the wintertime, there's snow up there. Late fall and early spring, it is snow up there. They have all four seasons up north, and it's only 2 hours from Phoenix. However, anywhere south of Phoenix is basically a desert. So Phoenix is at the basically northern part of the Sonoran Desert, which covers basically the southern half of Arizona, parts of Mexico, parts of California, parts of Mexico, and then I think a little part of New Mexico. So that was kind of something I didn't really understand and comprehend until I actually moved here. So obviously, like, visiting Phoenix and living in Phoenix are completely two different things. So the next is I want to talk on is like demographic. So Phoenix is basically made up of white people, our Hispanics, or our Latinos, mainly Mexican, and then everybody else is kind of sprinkled in there. So we got, our black people, our Indians, our Asians, and everybody kind of lives amongst each other. And I know for myself, being from the Midwest, our areas are segregated. Not to say that it's a bad thing, it's just how redlining worked back in the day. And Phoenix isn't really that segregated. Now, don't get me wrong, pockets where there are where it's more Hispanic or more white or more black, but for the most part, everybody kind of lives amongst each other. And I will say, if it is segregated, it's kind of segregated by income. So basically, you live in Phoenix where you can afford to live. So that kind of like blew me. It was kind of mind-blowing, because I'm not used to that. Like seeing that, like, so yeah, given that Arizona is a desert, let's get on the topic of weather. So I will say, I understand what the difference is between dry heat and it being humid. Dry heat feels like you literally put your head in an oven, because that's what it feels like when you walk outside. You literally like stuck your head in the oven. However, the dry cold is bone chilling. Now, it doesn't really get too cold too often in Phoenix. However, when it is cold, and I'm talking about during the winter months, especially at nighttime, I think it's gotten down to about 30 degrees, 38, roughly 40. And it's cold. Like, it's freezing cold. Like 30 degrees at home, or back in Ohio, that's nothing. Like, it's no big deal. Put a hoodie on, you good to go. Out here, you might need an actual, like, jacket for real, because that's a bone-chilling cold. So that was something unique and different about experiencing the different weather out here. So I will say, between like 95 and 105, it basically feels the same. And then anything after that is just basically annoying. So like 106 and higher, it's just annoying as far as heat is concerned. I will say, when you live in Arizona, especially in the desert part, you need to make sure you have at least 2 pair of sunglasses, because it is so damn bright outside all the time. That is like a requirement. You need to have 2 pair of sunglasses at all times. All right, next up is water. So this is Arrowhead water. This is everywhere in the valley. I hate this, but anywho, they always talk about there's a water shortage. There are so many damn golf courses in the Phoenix metro area, and all the golf courses are green as hell, that you would never assume that there's a water shortage in the city. So I don't know what that's about or what it means. I know that it's a long ass drought. Usually it should like rain more than it has been in the last 10 years or so. But as far as tap water is concerned, tap water here is absolutely disgusting. Like, I can't even swallow it. That's how bad it is here, or that's how bad it is to me, at least. Again, people grew up on this, so they're used to it. But I just can't do it. I love tap water. Like, give me faucet water all day. But clearly, being from the area where we have a Great Lake, the water quality is completely different than it is out here. So options for you, obviously you can buy bottled water, but they do have companies that will drop off the big 5-gallon jugs of water, and it's like a monthly subscription. Or they have these water fill-up stations all throughout the city. Some are individual, like, little machines outside of grocery stores and gas stations. Some are actually like a brick and mortar, where you can take in your own 5-gallon jug and fill it up, relatively cheap. So that's an option when it comes to water. But just keep in mind that wherever you're coming from, the tap water may not be to the quality that you're used to. So as far as safety, for me, Phoenix has been pretty safe. It is a pretty large metro area, so if you're coming from a large metro area, there's nothing that uniquely stands out. Especially watching the news, it's the same-ish, just in a completely different city. So that's all I can really say. Like, if you're, it's the same crap. I think the only thing that kind of stands out is the amount of homeless people. Now, I remember seeing them upon my visits here, but actually living here, you realize there's a significant amount more homeless people than you thought. And honestly, most of them are pretty chill. Like, they don't really bother you. There's some, they're homeless, and most of them, from what I can see, are definitely like druggies. There's a couple YouTube videos about the homeless people who are on drugs, that kind of walk the streets of Phoenix. So you can kind of look that up just to kind of get a vibe. Most of them are pretty nice and chill with the encounters that I've had with them, and they kind of leave you alone, just honestly looking for $1, to get their fix. But to be 100% completely honest with you, the most dangerous part in Phoenix would be an intersection. Let's just say I've seen more accidents in the 10 months that I've been here than I've seen traffic stops. If that kind of gives you a synopsis of how awful driving in Phoenix, Arizona is. So what makes it so trash? Well, one, it's a melting pot. So you have people who live in Arizona, then you have everybody outside of Arizona moving here. So you have people from the Midwest, you got people from California, Nevada, all moving to Phoenix. Let's not forget that we're also on the border of Mexico. So we got people from Baja California, Sonora, and Chihuahua who also live in Arizona. So that's a combination of a bunch of people who learn how to drive in different areas of the world, all coming together and driving on the same road, causing the biggest headache and chaos you've ever seen in your life. Like, the amount of the amount of risky behavior that happens, that occurs when driving out here is mind-blowing. And I swear to God, I'll see an accident every day on the road. Every day. I will, at least every other day, I will see an accident. So with that being said, you definitely want to make sure you got insurance, and your insurance, you got rental coverage. Now, I actually got into an accident back in January, and I purposely didn't buy a car. I waited a little bit. So for about 4 months, I haven't had a car. I just got a car back in like late April, early May, and was just driving for Lyft for fun here and there. And I guarantee, anytime I was out driving, for the most part, I would see some type of accident or traffic stop. Whether if it was right there coming on the intersection, or if it was off in the distance, I would see police lights. And I knew, oh, it's an accident. Traffic. traffic isn't bad. However, the 10 from the 51 and 202 junction or intersection heading westbound from about probably starting around like 12:30 to about 5 o'clock is congested. It is absolutely a nightmare. And same going eastbound. That portion from the 101 to the 51 on this 10 is absolutely awful between certain hours. So be prepared. If you're going to be driving that, especially in the afternoon or right after work, you're going to be stuck in traffic for the longest. And then they do this weird thing out here where they shut down the freeway. They literally just shut it down. Like, not even like one lane closure. They shut the whole damn freeway down. And that is mind-boggling to me. I don't understand it. It's usually on the 10, usually from, I would say, like the 17 to the 101. They will shut down pieces of the freeway for hours. And most people don't watch the news, so you're just driving along and then poof, the freeway is shut down. Now again, it's usually on the weekends, so just kind of be aware of that and heads up. I will say the cheapest gas in the city is along the 17 and also on the 10. So in the Maryville area has the cheapest gas in the city when it comes to the Valley. Also the Valley. So the Valley is the East Valley, which would consist of Tempe, Mesa, Gilbert, and Chandler. And then you have the West Valley, which is basically all the Phoenix, Tolleson, Avondale, Glendale, Scottsdale, and Paradise Valley. Now this part is only particular to Phoenix. So you have downtown, and Central is the street, right? So anything west of Central is considered an avenue. Anything east of Central is considered a street. Now this only applies for the West Valley. In the East Valley, this does not occur. It doesn't really apply. So for example, there is 7th Street and 7th Avenue. And these two streets are main streets. So actually it doesn't make any sense, but after living here, you get it. Just ensure that when you specify a street, especially in the West Valley, make sure you state if it's an avenue or a street. However, it's very difficult to get lost here because everything is set up on a perfect grid. And I'm pretty sure like a lot of it is like 1 mile by, it's like 1 square mile by 1 square mile. So like every main street is a mile away. Same with like east to west and north to south. And so east to west, you usually in the West Valley is going to be a number. And then north to south is going to be an actual name for the streets. So it's pretty simple to navigate. I will say that it's beyond easy. You may get lost here and there. That's because you're just not familiar with the area. But after being here, you can figure out Phoenix and with the breeze. It's pretty simple. Also, Phoenix is very like Lyft and Uber friendly, as well as like any like food delivery apps that you use if you want to drive for Lyft or Uber. Pretty easy. And also driving for like DoorDash or Uber Eats or Grubhub, blah 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 blah. Pretty simple. Definitely a ton of work. I use it all the time. I drive for Lyft here and there. So that's a good way to make some extra side cash, to be 100% honest with you. The only thing I will say is the apartments. A lot of the apartments have a motel style of design, and it's kind of confusing at first because like I'm not used to that. Like I'm just not used to it. I can't really go any more in depth than that, but they look like motels to me, but they're more apartments. And then however, a lot of apartments have these gate features that are absolutely annoying as hell. I cannot stand them. Like, I know they're for security, but they are annoying as hell. So anytime you're going to visit somebody and they live in an apartment complex that has a gate, you got to put the damn code in. You got to wait till the gate opens, and then to leave, you got to wait till the gate opens and closes. It's just an absolute headache, and it is quite annoying, given that I've never really experienced that in the last 31 years of my life. how it's set up. So that was something interesting and unique to get used to. Oh, I forgot, speed bumps. There we go. The speed bumps are absolutely annoying. I cannot effing stand them. And they just pop up out of nowhere, especially on the side streets in the residential areas. Speed bumps everywhere. So just be prepared. And also in the apartment buildings as well. There's speed bumps in the apartment complexes. They're freaking annoying. And you won't get used to it until you start driving more often throughout the city. So basically, I leave that to say, that's kind of my like overview of Phoenix. So just to kind of recap everything, dry heat is real, not bad, but annoying after a certain temperature, roughly around 106, 108 degrees. Anything after that, it's just annoying. Make sure you got sunglasses always. The water here absolutely sucks. The driving here absolutely sucks. It's a pretty safe city, easy to navigate, and I think that's basically it. So again, I just want to make this video to help those out who are going to move to the valley, just to kind of know what to anticipate. Oh, I forgot one more thing when it comes to driving. I don't know who designed this. I don't know who did this, but along certain parts of the freeway, they have pebbles. Well, some of the pebbles get on the road, and when people drive on the road, the pebbles get caught up in the car's tires and will fling back and smack your car, where it causes chips and also cracks in the windshield. So that's another thing to kind of be prepared for. So again, when you move to Phoenix, make sure you adjust your insurance. I promise you, it will be that peace of mind that you will have upon moving here. So other than that, that's all I got. And you know what I say, man, if you ain't traveling, you ain't living. Peace.